Magandang araw mga ka-aerial defense, may ibabahagi na naman ako sa inyo. Dahil ngayong araw na ito ay may pag-uusapan tayo tungkol sa depensa, Pilipinas magsasagawa ng malawakang military drill sa Bajo de Masinloc. Kinumpirma ng Armed Forces of the Philippines nitong Lunes na nagtalaga sila ng exercise area sa West Philippine Sea, para sa sunod-sunod na aktibidad ng militar kasama ang ibang mga bansa mula Enero hanggang Marso. Ang tagapagsalita ng Philippine Navy para sa West Philippine Sea Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, ay nagsabi na ang pagtatalaga ay sakop ng mga abiso sa mga airmen at mariners. Ang mga pagsasanay na ito ay nasa loob ng ating exclusive economic zone, mga lugar na mayroon tayong soberanya, mga karapatan at jurisdiksyon. Kasama dito ang Bajo de Masinloc, sabi ni Trinidad. Ito ay higit sa 600 nautical miles mula sa mainland China. Walang probisyon ng internasyonal na batas ang sumusuporta sa kanilang pag-angkin o sa kanilang akusasyon. Dagdag niya, sinabi ni Trinidad na mas maraming aktibidad at abiso ang ibibigay sa mga susunod na buwan. Ginawa ng opisyal ng Philippine Navy ang pahayag sa gitna ng mga ulat na inaakusahan ng China ang Pilipinas ng sinasadyang pag-igting sa maritime tension, pagkatapos ng pagtatalaga ng Pilipinas ng mga exercise zone sa West Philippine Sea. Tinawag ni Trinidad ang pag-aangkin ng China na walang basehan. Umabot sa 48 barko ng China ang namataan sa iba't ibang bahagi ng West Philippine Sea sa nakalipas na linggo. Ayon sa Philippine Navy, mas mababa ito kumpara sa naunang bilang na 55 barko. Ngunit hindi na isinama ang mga Chinese maritime militia vessels. Tumaas ang presensya ng mga barko sa ilang lugar sa Bajo de Masinloc na mayroong 21 barko. Gayon din sa Ayungin Shoal na mayroong 12 barko, Escoda Shoal 8 barko, at sa Pagasa Island 7 barko ng China. Patuloy naman ang pagpapalakas ng Pilipinas ukol sa soberanya nito sa pamamagitan ng pagtawag sa nasabing karagatan bilang West Philippine Sea, kasunod ng desisyon ng Permanent Court of Arbitration noong 2016, na pumabor sa Pilipinas. Nagdebate sina Senador Pangilinan at Marcoleta sa eksaktong mga coordinate ng bahagi ng South China Sea sa ilalim ng sovereign rights ng Pilipinas. Naganap ang debate sa panahon ng mga deliberation sa panukalang Senate Resolution No. 256 sa mga pahayag ng Chinese Embassy sa Maynila laban sa ilang pampublikong opisyal.
May I ask the Senator if we would agree that based on these maps, Vietnam, China, and Malaysia are succeeding in oil and gas exploration, but our exploration in our part of the world have stagnated. Would you agree, Your Honor?
Well, there are several other factors for the reason why the area is underdeveloped, and the areas of Malaysia, Vietnam are developed, apart from the conflict with China. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, there has been a discovery of natural gas deposits in the Malampaya area. So, there are many factors. It is not just the conflict with China that is a reason as to why we are unable to develop our own area in the West Philippine Sea, Mr. President.
But it is very clear, notwithstanding those factors, these maps indicate that we are really behind in oil exploration and gas in the South China Sea.
Well, we're behind in many other aspects, Mr. President, not just oil and gas. We're behind in agriculture, we're behind in tourism, we're behind in energy generation, etc. So I wouldn't be as simplistic as to say because of the underdevelopment of the West Philippine Sea, it's because of our conflict with China, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President, I hope the Honorable Senator will also agree that there is something effective in the management of relations among China, Vietnam, and Malaysia, and more importantly, their methods of bringing immediate and concrete benefits to their peoples, as shown by these maps, isn't it?
Well, again, I will say yes, up to a certain extent. Perhaps they are managing their relations with China better, but I will not concede that because of our lack of managing our relations with China compared to our neighbors has led to this state of underdevelopment, Mr.
But considering, Mr. President, that we have been left behind, so behind, as a matter of fact.
As I have said, we have been left behind in agriculture. Is that the fault of China? our relations with China? We have been left behind in infrastructure. Is that because of our sour relations with China? Of course not, Mr. President. There are many reasons why we are lagging behind. And yes, if we are able to better manage our relations with China, we may benefit from it. And definitely, I would like to see that at some point. But at this point, Mr. President, we're fighting for our sovereign waters and our territorial sea. And I think in this case, we should rally behind the Filipino claim in the arbitral ruling, Mr. President.
Our agriculture is lackluster. Our tourism is not giving us good statistics. Manufacturing is down. These are local problems, Mr. President. And we have only ourselves to blame why we are not doing good in these areas. But we're talking here of the South China Sea. We're comparing how, despite the tensions, the hostilities between countries like Vietnam and Malaysia, but they are able to manage their relationships. There must be something wrong with how people, like, with all due respect, Commodore Tariela, who managed and broadcast our dispute in the South China Sea. Perhaps because they do not have a loud mouth in their midst. Tayo meron ang dami. Whereas what we have been doing for years is not working. Kagaya po ng pinakikita ng mga mapa na yan in the South China Sea. We have to sit down. Talk rather than imbes na magpatutsadahan po. Wala pong nangyayari. Ito po yung naging bunga kung bakit po tayo biglang nawala sa ere. I know that being bombastic, Tariela earns him likes and makes him probably feel like a rock star, Mr. President. I know national anger sells newspapers. I know mindless patriotism wins accolades. But in reality, as the map show, Mr. President, we are all losing out and are being left behind. The way forward, Mr. President, is open discussion. The starting point is respect for each other's views and the views of our opposing claimants, be it China, Vietnam, Malaysia, etc. The draft resolution, with all due respect, is not the right start, Mr. President.
Mr. President, if I may just point out, the matter of Commodore Torriela, whether we agree to his statements or not, is one issue. Another issue, Mr. President, is that the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines have rallied behind Commodore Torriela and condemned the behavior and the actuations of China's embassy officials. If I may quote, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines strongly condemn such an affront to any of its members and reiterates that it shall not be cowed by any official of PROC, whether in their homeland or as guests here. And we shall continue to speak against their lies and malign actions when such are committed. That is our Department of National Defense. That is our armed forces of the Philippines, Mr. President. The very least that we should do as a Senate is rally behind our Department of National Defense and our men in uniform who risk their very lives to defend the West Philippine Sea, Mr. President. So the actuations of Commodore Tariela may not be may find discomfort with some of our colleagues, and we will respect that. But our defense establishment and our armed forces have spoken. And I believe senators must rally behind and defend and support our defense establishment in view of the aggression and the of China in our sovereign waters and our exclusive economic zone, as well as our continental shelf, Mr. President.
I will go to that point, Mr. President. But we can also draw lessons from the experiences in the Philippine Sea. In 2008, Malaysia and Indonesia had a naval standoff when Indonesia found oil and gas in Ambalat Field and Ambalat East, and Malaysia offered the same areas as Block, ND6 and ND7. To de-escalate, they agreed to a moratorium in 2009. Last year, their national petroleum corporations agreed on a joint exploration and development. We ourselves are experienced in cooperation in the Philippine Sea. Let me show another map. This is the last map, Mr. President.
Mr. President, just a fine point. Yes, we too have disputes with Vietnam, with Malaysia, and even Indonesia, Mr. President. But the difference is that they do not water cannon us, and they do not ram their ships, their coast guards, their coast guard, the Chinese coast guard, to our Philippine ships, Mr. President. It's an entirely different story in that regard, Mr. President.
Let me show you this map, Mr. President. This map is from the US-funded think tank Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, or AMTI. On the map are areas marked with X. On the upper right hand of the South China Sea, the mark refers to the exclusive economic zone and continental shelf overlap between the Philippines and Taiwan. We have a fisheries and law enforcement agreement there. On the lower left hand, Mr. President, the mark represents the dispute over extended continental shelf between Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam. We are in discussion with Vietnam now. On the bottom corner are disputes over Sabah and the territorial sea and contiguous zones it generates. In Sulu Sea and Celebes Sea, we have a tri-point with Malaysia and Indonesia, and the same in the Philippines with Indonesia, Palau, Japan, and Taiwan, emanating from Pratas Island. However, this map will demonstrate to us, Mr. President, the complex territorial and maritime disputes facing the Philippines. Malaysia is in the Sulu Sea and Celebes Sea, with Indonesia over continental shelf in the Celebes Sea, with Palau and Japan, Ryukyu Islands in the Philippine Sea, with Taiwan in the Basi Channel, with China, Malaysia, and Vietnam in the South China Sea, and with China, Taiwan in the South China Sea over the maritime zones generated by Pratas Islands. We must be doing something right in the management of this dispute, Mr. President.
Yes, we are. And
Yun nga po. Kaya
and-
po
and
pinipilit
the-
kong ipaliwanag na bakit dito sa mga areang ito ay nagagawa po nating i-manage ang hindi natin pagkakaunawaan. Ang sabi po nyo kanina, because they are not water cannoning us.
they are also not aggressive. They are not coercive, and therefore there will be no escalation. The aggression of China is primarily the reason why tensions in the disputed areas have risen over time. We have in fact filed 245 protests against China's incursion and illegal activities in our exclusive economic zone since 2022, Mr. President. We also exercise diplomacy. We recognize, and that's precisely why we brought the matter to the tribunal. We recognize that China is a power, economic power, and an emerging military power. And what do small nations like us have? We have the rule of law, international law, and that's why we brought this matter to the International Arbitral Tribunal, Mr. President. We
Sir
are not the problem here, Mr. President. It is China, the aggression of China, that is the problem here.
Mr. President, si Commodore Tariela po ba ginawan ng caricatures or effigy yung mga heads of state ng Vietnam, ng Malaysia, at iba pang karatig bansa?
Hindi kailangan, Mr. President, dahil wala naman silang pag-water cannon sa atin. Hindi naman po nila sinasagasaan ng ating mga mangingisda o inaaresto. Hindi na naman nila, yun na nga, binabangga, wino-water cannon, yung may aksidente pa na kung saan yung Chinese vessel ay iniwanan ang 22 mga mangingisda natin. At sino ang sumalba sa kanila? Vietnam ang sumalba sa kanila. So bakit tayo makikipagpalitan ng maanghang na salita sa mga meron tayong sabihin na nating maritime disputes na hindi naman tayo inaapi at binabalahura at binabastos, Mr. President. Mr.
Mr.
President,
President.
hindi lang po si Commodore Tariela for the record. Ang pati ang ating Senate President matapos nung binanggit yung persona ng grata nagsalita ng baluktot, Mr. President. So sana maintindihan natin, hindi lang ito usupin ni Commodore Tariela. Hindi lang ito usupin ng mga senador o kaya mga kongresistang binabastos nila. Usupin ito ng Pilipinas na ipaglalaban natin ang atin at dapat magkaisa tayo, Mr. President.
Pare-pareho po tayo sa posisyon na yon, Mr. President. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kailangan bang magkapatutsadahan ng walang katapusan? Ang pag-init po ng sitwasyon ay hindi po nakakabuti sa ating dalawang bansa. Walang katapusan na patutsadahan. Paano po natin kakalmahin? O halimbawa, paano natin papatay ng sunog sa isang bagay na susunog? Yun po ba'y bubuhusan natin ng gasolina? O kailangan natin sabuyan ng malamig na tubig? Mr. President, ang sinasabi ko lamang po, bakit po kinakailangan kasing gumawa pa ng mga caricature at sasabihin na ang presidente ng China ay bully? Siguro po, Mr. President, ang may mumungkahi natin, hindi po tayo kasi magpa-profit from these experiences. Ang DFA, ang BIFAR, ang DNR, ay sila pong nagmamanage ng ating mga disputed seas. Pero nagkakaroon po tayo ng progreso. Hindi po sila nagano ng mga caricatures o megaphone diplomacy. They did it diplomatically, diligently, and without fanfare, Mr. President, working with their counterparts in settling our differences with our nations. Ang sabi po kasi ninyo, Mr. President, Your Honor, na wala pong anumang ginawa ang ating mga maliban sa China, ang Vietnam o kaya yung ibang bansa ay walang nagawa. Nakalimutan po ba ninyo, Mr. President, in the context of our maritime disputes, we have shot and killed 2 Vietnamese fishermen in 2017 and 1 Taiwanese fisherman in 2013. Did Vietnam and Taiwan accuse us of sowing fear and interfering in our capacity to defend our claims? Gusto ko lang pong ipasariwa sa inyo yung ganon. Talaga pong nagkakaroon ng ganon eh. Ngunit sila, hindi naman tayo ginawan ng masama kahit na nakapatay tayo ng ilan sa kanilang mga tao. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin, anong patutunguhan natin kung patutsadahan walang katapusan?
Mr. President, if I may, the incidents mentioned by the good senator from Tarlac are isolated incidents from Vietnam and Taiwan. These are isolated incidents. This is not in the same realm as China's 24/7 acts. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, incursion and threatening. And Mr. President, Taiwan or Vietnam did not threaten us publicly. 2 weeks ago, the Embassy of China said the uniform, if I may quote, a word of advice to relevant individuals in the Philippines, immediately stop making provocations and stop confusing right and wrong, or they will pay the price for what they did. Embassy officials sa Pilipinas, tinatakot tayo. Tama ba yun? So again, Mr. President, yes, we have had these incidents with Vietnam. Oo, meron tayong naging insidente sa Taiwan, pero isolated incidents. In fact, yung sa Taiwan, iisa lamang ata sa loob ng 20 taon. Yung sa Vietnam ata, iisa rin lang siguro sa 10 taon. Hindi iba. Sa China, araw-araw tayong hinaharas, araw-araw tayong nandyan, nagtayo na nga ng kanilang airport, artificial islands, lantaran, Mr. President. So, apples and oranges ang pinag-uusapan yung insidente natin with our neighbors like Vietnam and Taiwan compared to China. Ibang-iba po.
Isolated or otherwise, Mr. President, nakapatay tayo ng kanilang tauhan. Ilan po ba ang pinatay ng China sa atin? Meron po ba?
Well, Mr. President, may naputulan ng hinlalaki. At yung 22 sinagasaan ng Chinese vessel at iniwanang mamatay, kung hindi sinalba ng Vietnamese fishermen, namatay na yung mga yun. So,
Ilan po ba, Mr. President, ang sinalba ng China kamakailan? 17 Filipinos. 17 fishermen.
at
Ano po ang
nagpapasalamat
ginawa
tayo.
ni Commodore Tariela?
At
He was very
nagpapasalamat tayo.
condescending, Mr. President. Imbes na pasalamatan niya ng buong puso sapagkat 17 mga kababayan natin ang naisalba. Yung kanyang pagpapasalamat na ginawa is condescending, Mr. President.
Uulitin
Let
ko.
me suppose that the embassy that is challenging your position, Mr. President, is questioning your knowledge. What if the Vietnamese or Malaysian, what if China tells the Philippine embassy in Beijing not to post or publish views that contradict the international law opinions of Chinese officials? Would that be acceptable to the Philippines?
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I beg your indulgence. You are saying that if Vietnam publishes, sorry, I missed
No,
the
what if China tells the Philippine embassy in Beijing not to post or publish views that contradict the international law opinions of Chinese officials? Would that be acceptable to the Philippines? Halimbawa lang, sinabihan yung ating embahada doon. Huwag kayong magpapublish
Yes,
ng mga
well,
views.
Well, Mr. President, that's their country. They will do what they will do. They will, in fact, there is no freedom of the press in China, Mr. President. So, if the government does that, then we will have to respect their position because we are merely guests in China, just as they are merely guests in the Philippines, Mr. President.
I would disagree, Mr. President. That will be unacceptable to me. Another question. The Philippine Embassy in Beijing assists the Philippine Coast Guard and DND in monitoring Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Have you heard China complain that this essential work of the Philippine Embassy interferes with Chinese internal affairs?
Mr. President, whether they complain or not, they're already in our exclusive economic zone. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to understand the position of the good gentleman in his defense of China and their position.
I am not defending China, Mr. President. I said, sinabi ko na kanina, ang ating discussion ngayon is not in defense of any other countries. We are defending Philippine interest. Ang pangyayari lang, kailangan nating linawin, ano ba talagang pinagtatanggol natin? Kung hindi po tayo nakatitiyak kung anong area ang pinagtatanggol natin, hindi po malinaw. Pati paggasta natin ng budget, kung alin ang dedepensahan natin, yun lang ang punto rito eh. At pinaliliwanag ko kanina pa sa magitan ng mga mapa, hindi po nagkakaroon ng positibong resulta sa ating bansa, yung pagbabangayan. Nakita na po natin, the South China Sea is rich in mineral deposits, in oil and gas. Nauhuli na po tayo dahil patutsadahan ng patutsadahan. Bakit nagawa po ng ibang bansa? Bakit hindi po natin magawa? Dahil nga po sa walang katapusang patutsada. Tingnan po natin ang West Philippine Sea, Mr. President. Ang sabi po natin, wala pa po kasi sa mapa. Bakit po wala sa mapa, Mr. President? Kasi po hindi ginagawa ng ating mga ahensya ang dapat gawin. Ang sabi po kasi sa Administrative Order number 29, which was issued on September 5, 2012, more than a decade ago. Sabi po sa Section 3 ng Administrative Order 29, the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, NAMRIA, shall produce and publish charts and maps of the Philippines reflecting the West Philippine Sea in accordance with this order. And finally, on November 8, 2024, the National Mapping and Resource Information NAMRIA committed to release a new Philippine map that includes the West Philippine Sea. But up to now, regrettably, Mr. President, this remains unfulfilled. Bakit hanggang ngayon ay wala pa ring mapa? What specific obstacles have prevented the production and publication of this map for over 10 years? Does NAMRIA dispute that Section 3 uses the word shall indicating mandatory and not a discretionary duty? Mr. President, kung wala po tayong mapa na maibibigay sa IHO at madideposit sa United Nations, hindi po kailanman uusad ang ating itinataguyod na sana mailagay sa mapa ng mundo ang West Philippine Sea.
Mr.
Bakit
President,
hindi po natin,
Mr. President,
paano po natin may pagtatanggol ang teritoryo kung wala tayong malinaw na mapa, Mr. President?
Mr. President, nabanggit na natin ito kahapon. Bumabalik tayo ulit doon sa usapin na ito. Pero babanggitin ko ulit, Mr. President. Maliwanag, Mr. President, na under Republic Act 9522, yung baseline law, Republic Act 12064, Philippine Maritime Zone Act, at yung AO 29, maliwanag na in-identify ang West Philippine Sea. Diyan nakasaad yung extent ng West Philippine Sea. It has been sufficiently and defined by these three government instruments and laws, Mr. President. So, hindi ko maintindihan bakit dahil walang meets and bounds, etc. ay ibig sabihin wala tayong maaring mahina ang ating claim. I beg to disagree, Mr. President. In fact, under our laws, meets and bounds refer to the baseline of 200 nautical miles. From baseline, 200 nautical miles ang ating exclusive economic zone. Merong 12 miles territorial sea, 24 miles contiguous zone, and so forth. Yun ang UNCLOS, Mr. President. Kaya hindi ko naintindihan bakit pinipilit itong pag-define ng meets and bounds ng West Philippine Sea kung na-define na. Besides, Mr. President, ayon sa UNCLOS, yung purpose ng pag-submit when UNCLOS obliges states to show the coordinates of maritime zones and submit and deposit the same, it is only for the purpose of publication and information. And it is made a condition, it is not made a condition sine qua non for entitlement. This is, Mr. President, UNCLOS Article 16, 75, and 84. So, hindi ibig sabihin dahil hindi natin nasasamite sa UNCLOS, gaya ng nabanggit ng ating butihing senador, na wala na tayong kapangyarihan o lakas o basehan para ipaglaban yung West Philippine Sea, Mr. President. It is only for purposes of publication and information.
Mr. President, ang laki po talaga ng hindi natin pagkakaunawaan sa bahaging ito. I am not questioning
What is this?
the extent of the exclusive economic zone. This is 200 nautical miles from the baseline. That is also the extent of our continental shelf. Contiguous zone is 24 miles, nautical miles. Territorial sea is 12 miles from the basic line. Hindi po yun ang pinag-uusapan natin, Mr. President. Sinabi lang kasi ng AO 29 and Presidential Decree 1596, dinefine niya lang yung West Philippine Sea. Ang kulang, sabi po ng steps na dapat gawin, sinabihan nga ng executive order ang NAMRIA . Gumawa ka na ng mapa, kasi po yung mapa, yan po yung magbibigay ng coordinates. Isasubmit po yan. Ito, basahin ko na po. Section 4 of Administrative Order 29, Series of 2012, requires relevant government agencies such as DFA, kasama na po yung DFA, not only to deposit with the United Nations Secretary General the country's official map reflecting the West Philippine Sea, but also notify international bodies such as the International Hydrographic Organization of the same. Ayun po Section 20, Section 4. Kung hindi po tayo magsasubmit ng mapa, saan po kukunin ang coordinates? Yun lamang po ang paraan para po yung ating pinapangarap, pinapanaginip na West Philippine Sea, mailagay naman po sa mapa. Yun po ang pinakamaganda. At pagkatapos nating mailagay sa mapa, ay lalakas po lahat ang ating paninindigan dahil nakalagay na po sa mapa eh. Kahapon po pinakita ko yung South China Sea. Hindi po ibig sabihin na yung South China Sea, sa China po yun. Hindi po. Pangalan lang yun eh. Yung 6.1, yun ang chapter po doon sa S-23 para basahin po ninyo at makita ang coordinates. Wala po tayong pinagtatalunan tungkol dito. Hindi ko po kailanman dinidepensa ng China. Gusto kong palakasin ang ating paninindigan dito. Bakit hindi po tayo magkaintindihan? Napakasimple lang nun.
Hindi tayo
Wala pong coordinates talaga.
Hindi po
ang mapa lang po ang magbibigay ng coordinates.
malamang marahil hindi tayo nagkakaintindihan dahil gaya ng nabanggit ko kahapon, kahit na magdebate tayo hanggang sabi ko nga, Kingdom Come, tungkol dito sa meets and bounds na ito, hindi magbabago yung arbitral ruling na sinasabing mali ang China, hindi dapat nagtatayo ng mga illegal structures ang China sa ating exclusive economic zone. So bakit tayo bumabalik dito sa debate ng meets and bounds? Para sa ano? Para pahinain natin yung naging award natin sa International Tribunal? Para questionin natin na yung award natin ay kulang? Para bigyang duda na tayo nga ba'y nanalo? Hindi naman po siguro. Panalo tayo, binigay sa atin yan at hindi tayo mananalo kung hindi maliwanag ang ating mga karapatan at ang ating exclusive economic zone kahit na hindi pa nade-determine ang meets and bounds. Dahil yon ang sinasabi ng UNCLOS. UNCLOS ang basehan ng ating pagkapanalo. Walang pinag-uusapang meets and bounds sa usapin po nung determination ng ating exclusive economic zone, Mr. President. Sana po kung maintindihan ng ating butihing senador yun, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng ganitong hindi pagkakaunawaan.
Binanggit po ninyo kahapon yung Administrative Order 29 at saka yung Republic Act 12064. Ang sabi po ninyo, doon makikita yung mga coordinates. Basahin po ninyo kung merong
Hindi
coordinates
po
doon.
natin
Wala po.
sinabing doon po makikita ang coordinates. Ang sinabi po natin ay nakadefine doon ang ating ang West Philippine Sea.
Dinefine nga po, Mr. President, na pinag-uusapan, paano maitatala nga po sa mapa? Ayaw po nating itala sa mapa, Mr. President. Yun lang po ang punto eh. Binabanggit kasi natin at sa batas natin, ni-require po ang NAMRIA at ni-require din ng DFA na mag-submit ng mapa hanggang ngayon. 12 years na po nakararaan. Ba't hindi po natin maitala?
Point of information, Mr.
Napaka-importante
President.
po na magkaroon.
Just for the information of the good senator, 2024 meron na pong mapa ang NAMRIA. So hindi totoong wala pang
Ang sinasabi ko po, Mr. President, hindi po sinasubmit sa mga kinaukulang dapat
hindi po, ang
ipag-submit.
sinabi po ninyo wala pang mapa. Iba po yung hindi sinasubmit.
Kahit na may mapa po, kung hindi nyo sinasubmit, hindi rin po tayo
Pero
magtatagumpay sa
correction
ating
lang po.
paninindigan na maitala natin po sa pandaigdigan talaan ng mga dagat ang West Philippine. Hindi po ba importante sa inyo na maitala natin ang West Philippine Sea?
Mr.
Point
President,
of information, Mr.
With the
President.
indulgence of Senator Pangilinan. Senator Risa Ontiveros, you're recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Tama po si Senator Pangilinan. Ang totoo po, dun sa mapang itinatanong ng Mabuting Ginoo, NAMRIA has prepared the maps anchored on the newly signed Philippine Maritime Zones Act and Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act and complying with UNCLOS and is awaiting the final implementing rules and regulations for publication. So nandun na po, Mr. President, ang mapa. Salamat po, Mr.
if I
President.
may likewise add, Mr. President, ito ay the information relayed to us by Dr. J. Batumbakal. He's the director of the UP Law Center Institute for Maritime Affairs and the Law of the Seas. And he says, and I quote, "When UNCLOS obliges states to show the coordinates of a maritime zone on charts of appropriate scale and to deposit them with the UN Secretary General, Article 16, 75, and 84, it is only for purposes of publication and information and is not made a condition sine qua non for entitlement to the maritime zone concerned. In fact, even before UNCLOS was open for signature, states fully recognized the entitlement of other states to territorial seas, even without published coordinates. Deposits of charts containing the coordinates of the UN does not create any legal effect and does not imply approval by the UN. The UN is not a register of deeds for maritime zones of states. The absence of legal effect of deposit is clearly provided for even in the UN website." So yung ang inaalala ng ating ginoong Senador Marcoleta ay hindi nakakadagdag ng legal entitlement ang pagdeposito sa UN Secretary General under Articles 16, 75, and 84 of the UNCLOS.
So, ibig sabihin, Mr. President, yung Section 3 at saka Section 4 ng Administrative Order Number 29, ibabaliwalain na natin. Inuutusan po kasi ang NAMRIA at saka ang DFA na gumawa ng mapa at i-deposit nga sa United Nations and notify accordingly relevant international organizations such as the International Hydrographic Organization and the United Nations Conference on the Standardization of Geographical Names. Hindi po importante sa atin yung Administrative Order Number 29.
Yung Administrative Order Number 29, Mr. President, ay 2012. Yung Republic Act 12064, yung Philippine Maritime Zones Act, ay 2024. So superseded na yung binabanggit na probisyon ng RA 12064.
Mr. President, hindi po ganun. Wala pong nasusupersede dito. Yung 12064, nire-enforce nga po eh. Pati yung Presidential Decree 1596. Basahin po ninyo lahat para magkaintindihan tayo ng lubusan. Ang pinag-uusapan po kasi natin, while our laws define the extent of our West Philippine Sea, tayo naman po itinatagubilin na gumawa ng paraan para sa ganun, may sama pa yon para po yung mga coordinates na yon ay maisumite sa United Nations Secretary General at sa mga kinaukulang mga ahensya internasyonal. Yun po kasi ang sinabi ng mga batas natin. Sapagkat, alinman sa batas natin, walang sinasaad na coordinates. Ang coordinates po, ang gagawa po niya NAMRIA. At yan po ay base sa mapa na kanilang gagawin. Yun lamang po ang punto, Mr. President. Wala yatang masyadong dapat na pagdebatihan sa puntong yun. Sapagkat ako, kayo, Mr. President, and the good Senator, gusto rin natin talagang ipaglaban ng tsaga ng atin. Mas maganda kasing ilaban ito kung malinaw na nasa mapa tayo ng pandaigdigang talaan ng mga dagat. That is the whole point, Mr. President.
We note, Mr. President, the concern, and I agree with him in that regard, that it would be better for us if we do have those coordinates, but it does not in any way diminish what we are entitled to under the arbitral ruling, Mr. President.
Para sa mas madaming update tungkol sa ating depensa, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Huwag mo na rin kalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe. Pindutin mo na rin ang bell para updated kayo sa aking mga bagong video. Maraming salamat po.